Are you considering starting a dropshipping business, but you're not sure whether it's possible to automate it alongside a full-time job? Well, I figured out how to automate a dropshipping business, and I know it works because it is working for me right now. In this video, I'm going to show you how you can also automate a dropshipping business alongside a full-time job, no matter how busy you are and how busy your full-time job is. So there's going to be a 3-step process, and I'm going to explain this all to you with the help of my screen share here. Now, I get this question a lot, and it's important that we go through this in a simple step-by-step guide in today's video. So there's 3 stages to this video. The first one, we're going to talk about the challenges that we need to be aware of when balancing a full-time job and dropshipping. Then secondly, we'll explore the benefits of starting dropshipping while you're actually employed and while you're in a job. And then we're going to talk about the steps to actually start dropshipping, so you know how to leverage tools and automation to make it an automated business, no matter how busy you are right now. So why listen to me? Well, my name is James Eardley, if you're new to the channel, and I've built e-commerce businesses to over 7 figures. So I've done over £1 million in sales in the last few years. And I started that business alongside a full-time job, and I've now left that job because the money from the business is overtaking what I was earning in that job. And I now run it from just half an hour a day. So I've been through this process and I know exactly what it takes. And it's given me that time and location freedom. And with these videos that I create, ultimately I want to be able to allow you to achieve that same success. So let's go through this. So first of all, we need to talk about whether is it possible? And a key step to make sure we know whether it's possible or not is the time management aspect. Because if you're in a busy full-time job, I know it as well as you've got a large part of your day that's already taken up with being focused on a full-time job. And how can you actually get and find the time to build an e-commerce business alongside that? So it's crucial to actually get really good at time management and start to time block. So what I mean by this is you need to be 100% on or 100% off your work and business at one time. So you can't be on doing both at the same time. Now, this is a mistake I made where I was at work and I knew that I was meant to be at work, but constantly in my mind I was thinking about, okay, what tasks can I do? What can I get away with to build alongside my full-time job? What can I do to grow my business? But all that did was it stopped me from doing really productive work with my actual workplace, and also stopped me from doing anything really productive with the business because I knew that I couldn't be fully focused. So I quickly stopped trying to do that because I realized if you try and multitask and switch between tasks, what you end up doing is doing nothing properly because you're just stuck between more than one task at a time. So either you're at work or you're focusing on your business. It has to be one or the other, because otherwise there's no point doing either because you won't be able to give either your full attention. So find time in your day where you know you'll be at work. So if you're a 9 to 5, that's simple because you've got the hours already laid out for you. And then with your e-commerce or your dropshipping or the business that you're building, find time in your day, create a routine, ring fence a time in your day where you're going to really go into some deep work time to just focus on your business. So I prefer the morning because it means you're a lot less likely to skip it if you decide you'll do it in the morning. Whereas if you have it in the evening, I found it's a lot easier to put it off because you've had a busy day at work. But whatever works for you, find a time and just ring fence that time for working on yourself and working on your future. So coming on to that, once you have a blocked period of time every day to work on your business, you then need to be able to prioritize the tasks. There's no point having time blocks and then spending all of that time doing tasks that don't make a difference for the growth of your business anyway. We need to be really good at this if we are going to do it alongside a full-time job, because we've got limited time. And so from that limited time, we need to be more effective than people that have all day to run their business, because you've got to be really high impact with that time that you've got. So speak to others, use a planner, find out what it is that are the most key tasks for you to take or key tasks for you to do every day in order for you to succeed. For me, I knew that I had to boil down the work I was doing to build a dropshipping business to really just the key tasks to whatever I was working on at the time. So when you build a dropshipping business alongside a full-time job, you need to have one clear task that you're going to be doing every single day and get that set out for you by others or set it out the night before every single day. So in the dropshipping context, when you're actually building a business, you should be doing nothing else other than choosing a niche, building a Shopify store, and signing high quality suppliers. Then when you're up and running, you then just need to focus on having a profitable ad campaign and then adding more suppliers and adding the products from those new suppliers. Anything outside of that is a distraction and is not prioritizing. And you need to get very good at just prioritizing the most important tasks while you are also in a full-time job. It's only when you do that work is really going to move the needle forward on your business. So you need to understand that prioritizing was huge for me. Okay, the benefits of starting dropshipping while you're employed are huge actually. I started it alongside a full-time job. And actually, if you're in a full-time job, I don't think it's the right course of action to just leave that job and start a business. I think there are some real benefits from doing it as a side hustle initially. It's exactly how I started. And the most important thing is that it gives you that financial security. So you're not just cutting off an income stream that you've got to look after your day-to-day life. It means that you've got that financial stability, which ultimately will reduce your stress and it will make it more enjoyable for you to really build this business. And I believe there has to be an element of less stress and enjoying it for you to keep turning up and keep showing up every day to get to the eventual success. So it does give you that financial security. It also gives you that freedom in order to experiment and learn, because you haven't got to make money immediately. When you're rushed into certain things, it makes you make decisions very differently. And if you have to come from a place of always making decisions of what's the immediate success, it's very easy to make big mistakes. So when I first got started, I was still in my job, but I was starting to decide that I needed to make £1 million within the next few weeks. And that's because I thought that that was possible with dropshipping, because these are some of the big claims that people are making. And so when I first got started, I was watching a few videos of Facebook ads and using AliExpress dropshipping. And what I did was I thought I had this brilliant formula: find a product on AliExpress, send it to customers in the US from China while I'm operating in the UK. And I thought, well, this is going to be an amazing system because I can buy the products for £10, sell them for 20, and I was going to be onto a winner. But what I realized was that I was just making mistake after mistake after mistake because I had that pressure on me. I was trying to force myself into to make gains quickly. It was an ultimate massive failure. I learned loads from it, but it really hurt at the time. But I had all these mistakes. Anyway, the silver lining of all this was that I had a job the whole time, so I could just learn from these mistakes and they weren't going to be catastrophic for me. So I could just learn the whole time. I made these mistakes. I was able to then just pivot from these mistakes and then push on to what was ultimately going to be better for me, a better business model. So what are the steps now to start dropshipping alongside your job? The first step is to just start researching and planning. Immerse yourself in the world of dropshipping. Find out who's doing it already, and learn from those people that you can see are being successful, because from those people you'll get so many shortcuts and you haven't got to learn it all yourself. I certainly was in this position when I first got started. I found communities. I got into the Dropship Unlocked Masterclass, and they say that you step on the shoulders of giants when you learn from others, but it's really true because they do all the groundwork. So in my case, Lewis Smith, my mentor with Dropship Unlocked, he did all the groundwork, and I could immediately jump onto his shoulders and grow from the position that he had already built us all up to. So getting around people is a shortcut to grow on and stand on the shoulders of giants from the very, very beginning. So immerse yourself, listen to podcasts, watch a few videos, and also start researching niches and suppliers in those niches when you first get started. You might have a few ideas of products that you want to sell, but start researching, do some niche research, things I've talked about on my channel already. Start to find out which products you would be interested in selling, and start using tools for effective research. Now, I've written here, Google will be your best friend because it's an amazing free resource, and actually the vast majority of the niche research we do is with Google, completely free resource. So you can do so much research with that and not have to shell out for huge research tools, anything like that. The next step then is to set up your Shopify store, which you can absolutely do alongside a full-time job. There's so many tutorials out there. You can watch videos of how to build a successful business, and I always recommend using Shopify because it is the absolute world leader in an e-commerce platform. So you use Shopify. I've got the link in the description, which will allow you to start for just £1 a month, and you get a free trial for the first 3 days. Yeah, so free for the first 3 days, and then it's just £1 for the first month. So how about that for a low barrier to entry to the world's leading e-commerce platform? So absolutely would recommend getting started with Shopify. And all you need to do initially is just choose your brand color, add a logo, choose a store name, and then from that position, you want to get around communities to learn, like the privacy pages, the cookies pages, delivery information, returns information. Get those all sorted, and then you're already 50% of the way there. From that position, we can then start to think about adding products, collection pages, etc., etc. But you can just do all this in small chunks, where you just do it an hour or 2 hours every day, and over the course of a couple of weeks, you can have a Shopify store that will convert for you. Okay, next step is to leverage tools and automation, because if you want to run it as an automated business, there's a few great tools that will help you to make sales consistently without you having to constantly manually work on this business, because you've got a job as well. So the first one I recommend is Klaviyo, which is an email marketing tool. It's an app that you add on to Shopify from the Shopify App Store. So you get Shopify first, and then you add Klaviyo, and it means that you can send your customers emails after they've been on your website, after they've purchased from you, and people will buy from those emails. And you can just do it in an automated fashion, because you set up flows of emails that will get sent when a customer takes a certain action, and you don't need to do anything manually. You create the email once, and it gets sent out to customers based on the actions that they take. And another tool that I absolutely recommend if you're really keen on making this automated is Zapier or Zapier. And with this tool, you can link apps together to make your general tasks that you do on a day-to-day basis automated. So for example, I use Zapier to add order details into a tracking sheet for the orders. We'll also use Zapier to add an order to a Trello board so we can track the process of each order. Loads and loads of different actions that you can take and make it all automated to make the business run smoothly with Zapier. A next step for you, if you are doing alongside a business or alongside a full-time job, is to outsource your tasks quickly. So I waited too long to hire a virtual assistant, but they're amazing for freeing up your time and making sure that you're just prioritizing the most important tasks. And a virtual assistant, freelancer, will be able to do the work, the day-to-day work on your behalf. So that would be like customer service, order processing, and they can mean that you are just using your time most effectively to scale and build the business as quickly as possible. So I always use onlinejobs.ph for finding virtual assistants to work on a dropshipping store. And then for any other freelancer work, like if you need somebody to enhance your website, or if you want to work with somebody to enhance the conversion rate, a one-off task with really expert freelancers, then I'd recommend Upwork for that type of outsourcing. But yeah, I've had lots of experience with outsourcing. I've actually made a video all about how to hire a virtual assistant last month that came out on the YouTube channel, and would recommend checking that out for really making it an automated business. Okay, next up then we need to set our goals. If you want to achieve an automated side hustle, the only way you can get there is to know exactly what that looks like. And the only way you can do that is to start visualizing. What do you want your life to look like? What do you want this business to do for you? The more clear you are with your goals, the more likely you are to succeed. I absolutely stand behind that, because every time I got more and more clear on my goals, the faster and faster I achieve those goals. So get really clear on the short-term and long-term goals. And then to achieve these goals, you need to build a strong support network. So that's talking about to families, friends. But what I found is that families and friends don't necessarily understand the goals that you have or the business that you're running. And I found it more beneficial to get around communities of people that are on the same journey or a few steps ahead of me. And so there's loads of communities out there today to get around and create a support network for you. So when you're on this journey to build your automated side hustle, you've got other people around you that have already done that or are already doing it, so you can learn from those people. So with that said, there's actions there you can take. There's a few stories in there about how I automated my dropshipping business to be a successful side hustle. And hopefully you've enjoyed the video today. That's everything from me. It is absolutely possible. You just take some clear steps, get really clear on your vision, and one step at a time, you can make it. If you really are struggling to create an automated side hustle alongside a full-time job, then I am creating a free community, which is the first link in the description under this video, called Freedom Builders. and we're getting ambitious, inspiring people all together in this community to help each other grow and build on the businesses that we're running. So that's the first link in the description. If you feel like that would be helpful for you, then check it out. If you don't think it'll be helpful, then feel free to completely ignore it. But if you've enjoyed the video, leave it a like. I hope you've enjoyed it. Subscribe if you like this type of video. Comment if you want to tell me about how you're planning to build one of these businesses. And yeah, with that said, thanks for watching. I will catch you in the next video.